once again, guys. Max House here to keep rolling on just really explaining this whole thing about who are those guys. Remember, we're talking about Josh's inner circle of 5. How does he find them? What does he do? What does he not do? These are very key people for Josh. As Josh models certain things, strength, conviction, all those things we talked about the last couple days, and sets these guys up for success, then as they find their 5, which will be 25 on Josh's second level, they're going to have the same qualities, hopefully, of being imprinted with strength, conviction, clarity, mission statement, all those things we've been talking about. So we're going to go ahead with something that I started a couple days ago, and you may have noticed that particular training with the Relive House and all that got cut off. What happened is my camera ran out of battery, which at the time was very disconcerting to me, but I'm kind of glad it did, because since then a lot has unfolded in my own Relive world, my own Relive life, and I'm going to share some of that with you today, and just new fresh stories, new fresh contacts. I'm telling you guys, the one thing about teaching stuff is, 1, you have a deeper understanding of it. 2, if you have integrity, then you've got to implement this stuff. It can't just be theory. It can't just be words that you throw out hoping to affect people, but it's got to be implemented. And so over the last little bit, I've been able to implement some things with more strength, more conviction, more courage, more directness, maybe than I ever have. I don't know, but it's been fun to watch it. Let's put it that way. And I'm going to share those stories here with you right now. So, what we're talking about, we've already talked about leveraged interviews, and I hope you understand the power of that. Getting at, first and foremost, getting at letting it be known what you're looking for, and the qualities that you're looking for, the expectations that you have going into this, and then the end result of that is people can really respond yay or nay. And guys, honestly, nay is just as good an answer as yay when it comes to this approach, because we are trying to really find these quality people to fill in this 5, this inner circle. All right, so, but then there's leveraged appointments. Now we're talking more along the lines of first appointments. So you sit down, and it's not so much an interview process as it is strongly, with conviction, with clarity, with purpose, letting them know what you're looking for. We're going to talk about that in a little bit, but also leveraged appointment setting. So we're not even to the appointment yet. It's just how to leverage strength and all these things we've talked about in just simply setting the appointment. So let me tell you a few stories that have happened over the last few days. One of them happened about 5 weeks ago. So that you can get an understanding of what we're talking about. Well, first and foremost, from our last training, remember we talked about the Relive House. And what this is for people that have been in Relive. This is for people that have already built organizations to some extent or another. And so they got people in their Relive House. Some are active, some are inactive, some are very passionate about the product, some are not. Some are not doing anything. They're just simply in there because they haven't fallen off the Relive books yet. And guys, later on, in the next training or two, I'm going to take us through, for those that are willing to participate, I'm going to take us through an absolution ceremony. What in the heck are you talking about, Max? An absolution ceremony is simply you, me, anybody that has dropped the ball with people in their organization. Guys, we're going to go through an absolution ceremony and say, that was then, this is now. We're going to absolve ourselves from all of our failings and all the things that maybe we have or have not done that have caused some of these people to be dormant. And we're just going to say, you know what? I'm absolved of that. I am, from this date, whatever that date might be, maybe it's January 1st. Awesome time to start all over again. January 1st was the first day of my second or third or fourth attempt at really building my Relive business with strength, clarity, conviction, purpose. So we're going to absolve all of us of our relived sins and foibles and failures, if you will. We're going to start with fresh, clean slate so that when somebody comes to you and said, well, Mary, you've been in Relive for 4 years now. What kind of money are you making? Well, you know, I really, whatever you say, just say, you know what? Actually, I started my Relive business for real January 1st of 2013. So let's talk about what's happened since that time. Because I was only dabbling at this thing before. I didn't understand really what I had my hands on. Guys, do you see how strong that can make you if you don't have to account for maybe years of wallowing around in confusion and lack of effectiveness, and you can be absolved from that and just simply move on in to a whole new season of doing this? How powerful will that be for you? So you don't have to fear that question. Well, what kind of money are you making? Doesn't matter. Let's talk about from January 1st of 2013 forward. Let's make it happen from that point on, you know, whether it be December 15th, whatever it is, guys. I'm just saying there's power in fresh, new starts to turn the page and start over again, and that's the ceremony that we're going to do. We may have a live call to do this, where we can truly let people free from all the failures and the conviction and the things that beat us down, that we haven't been good upline, that we haven't been good teachable people, whatever it might be, guys. Wherever you're hung up, we're gonna have a little ceremony and take care of that. It's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to that. All right. So we've got the Relive house, and if Josh has been in Relive for a while, he's going to have some people in his house more than likely. But then we have this circle over here. Well, I know that looks like a plate of Christmas cookies, but it is not. It's a round pin. These are people that Josh is now currently going out and setting leveraged appointments with and doing leveraged appointments with. So they're kind of in here. They haven't made a decision. They're not in his Relive house yet. They're in this round pin, if you will, and Josh is going to do leveraged interviews with them, find out what they want, find out if they're the type of people that he can really go to work with. So eventually, there's going to be people coming out of here into this circle. I'll explain this in a little bit. And there's going to be people coming out of the round pin into this circle. And let's say that then we end up with 10 in here, a few out of here, a few out of here. And then out of this, we really determine, because everybody that's in here says, man, I'm in. I love this 5x5. I'm going to find my 5. I'm going to get on AutoShip. I'm going to do all the parameters that you've laid out for me. Wonderful. Then you come into this circle, and knowing human nature, knowing life, and all that stuff, then eventually out of, let's say 10 in here, it could be 15, it could be 20, whatever it is, eventually 5, I believe, if we've done our leveraged interviews and appointment setting properly, we're going to help these people to make quality decisions to fill these slots and then to go out and find their 5 doing the same process. This is what we want to duplicate. This is dynamic duplication. All right, so let me tell you about a lady that is on our Relive house. Her name is Patty. Not her real name, by the way. And Patty has been in Relive for about 1.5 years. Absolutely loves the products, has shown at different times interest in the business, but not really taking the time or effort and, you know, all the things. And so, but about 2 months ago, she called me and she says, Max, I'm ready. I'm ready to do this Relive thing. I really need, she owns her own business, has a lot of employees, burning her out. So anyway, so I said, well, Patty, let's do this. Well, I'm taking off on a trip, which I was the next day. I said, when I get back, I'm going to come in. We're going to sit down. And guys, this is just when I was getting re-inspired about this whole 5x5 thing. So I was always had this whole trip, I had Patty in mind about kind of what I was going to do and how I was going to approach this. And a lot of the stuff I've been teaching and training has come out of that thought process. And this interview and this leveraged interview that I did with Patty. So I went into her business, perfect timing. She had time to sit down. I laid out the 5x5, and I said, Patty, here's the deal. I'm only looking for 5 people because of the nature of how we're approaching this. I'm only looking for people that really, once they say they're in and they do the things that we're asking them, they're in. They're not second guessing. They're committing for a year. They're getting on AutoShip. They're you know, and I painted the picture for her, and I said, so Patty, here's the deal. This may fit you for this time of your life, it may not. Honestly, I've got my hands so full with people that are already telling me in my organization they want to do this, that I wouldn't be heartbroken if you said it's not my time. And I said, so I'm going to leave that decision up to you. And she sat there and says, thank you. I really do appreciate the way you've laid this out. It helps me to make a decision. She says, well, let me consider it. And she only considered it for about 10 seconds. She says, I want to be one of your 5, Max. I really do. I said, okay, well, that's good. Then so I laid out some other steps for her. But guys, my strength, my willingness to say, come in, don't come in, Patty, it's fine. I'm not attached to your decision. It's up to you to make this decision because it has to be in your heart. And so she made the decision, and so we're going to see what happens from there. So Patty goes into the circle. She's not here yet. She's in this other round pen. We're going to see what Patty ends up doing with all this. Yesterday, I sat down with a man named Jim. Jim is a guy that was a referral, quality guy, interested in the 24K. There again, we were going on a trip, so I said, Jim, when I get back, we'll sit down. I got back, he called me. We got together Saturday. I gave him some product. I said, Jim, I want to sit down with you, and I want to show you what we're doing. So that Saturday, we got together to get the 24K, and just yesterday, we sat down and did this appointment. Guys, all of this teaching and training has infused strength in me, and I passed that strength on to that. And this is a quality guy. He was on the Olympic speed skating team back in the 60s. He's took second in the world long drive contest for golfing. Incredible guy, incredible, taught close arm combat for people, for like SWAT teams and stuff in Houston. Just a quality guy. But there again, I was strong with him, and I said, Jim, I think this could be a good fit for you, this business, for you and I. But, I just want you to look at it. You look at it. I told him about the 5x5 very quickly. He said, this is very interesting to me, Max. He said, I have so many people approach me about their network marketing deals, but I've never quite bought in. And guys, I said, Jim, understand this. I am not begging you to come into this deal. I've got my hands full. I use that a lot. I got my hands full, got so much going. It's true. But I said, so I'm just going to show you what it is. Let me take you through this process. Let me, quote unquote, I'd say, but leverage interview. Let me find out what you're looking for, and if this is a good fit. And then from there, you can make a decision if you want to take this season of your life and make some, really what the possibility is, pretty darn serious income if you're willing to follow the track that I lay out for you. And guys, strong man, not to be intimidated, but I wasn't intimidated either because I knew I had the goods. Jim sensed that I knew I had the goods, and he responded to that. So we're in this process. Send him some calls to listen to, see if he listens to those. There again, just simply finding out. So Jim, very well, I expect he could end up in this circle here. Rodney, I went golfing yesterday afternoon. I passed a young man in a parking lot and just struck up a lightweight conversation with him, just introduced myself. Went and played golf. On the way back, he was still out tinkering with his car, and I just sat and talked with him, talked about his car, and asked him about himself. And, guys, from there, there was an appointment set. Unfortunately, I'm running out of time for this segment. I'm going to stop. I'm going to come back and start this thing all up again so we can stay within our 15-minute parameter. Guys, stay tuned. This is very powerful stuff, and I hope you're beginning to understand strength will never let you down. Weakness will fail you every time.